this all kind of figured out here. It is just I this morning, so we are going to kind of figure out how we want to work this system. Let me shut the door. Until we get some people in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I am tired. Hey, Shar. Everything seems to be working all right. It's been a bit since I've had to do a live by myself, so I think I did everything correctly. I guess we'll find out. If not, then it'll just be us doing the egg cutting. All right, starting to see a few more people in. I'm going to go ahead and shut the door real quick so that way you're not listening to the alligator filter in the background. All right. Oh, wait for a few more people. How are we all doing today? Yeah, you did make it for a live. Unfortunately, it is just me today. You didn't make it to see Matt or Curtis or anyone like that. You're stuck with me. Matt is on vacation. He's in Colorado, I think. But I couldn't tell you. Well, actually, he's probably somewhere along the road. He's probably not there. I think he left sometime this morning. Thanks, Dennis. This is gonna be a little tricky because again, I'm egg cutting, but I'm doing it by myself. So I don't know. I haven't quite figured out the best way to cut and show eggs while I only have two hands. So cutting and holding a camera at the same time doesn't necessarily work that great. So hi, Anna. I guess we'll kind of find out. Wait for a few more people. How about that football game, man? The Dolphins 70-20 Chargers. Is that an NBA game or an NFL game? Like, are we playing basketball? Like, that's a crazy score. That is insane to score 70 points. I do have a good tripod to hold it. The problem is I can't tilt it to show you the eggs while I cut. So I probably will cut an egg, then show you the egg, and then put it back up and, you know, kind of go from there. Or I don't know, guys, we'll kind of figure it out. The good news is, well, or bad news, depending on how you feel about me doing live streams. Bad news for me, I guess, because I'm not great with this stuff, so I'm not a huge fan of it. But there's like an egg cutting every day this week while Matt is gone. So you're going to see a lot of me. In fact, I think we also have to film a few episodes while Matt's gone, so that'll be something. No, I just need to do some work on this one. I think it's just it's a funkier looking one. I just need one I need to mess around with and play with. To be honest, I didn't expect to do any egg cuttings at all this year by myself, and so I wasn't really prepped for it like I should have been, and that's on me. But yeah, so we'll get it figured out. Today's pairing, there's 10 eggs to cut, 10 relayed, 10 good, so all made it. It's day 54 instead of day 55, and that's because there's like 3 clutches due at the same time, and we wanted to space them out, so we have one today at 54, one tomorrow at 55, and then another one at day 56. Just because we noticed people like, it's easier for people to watch a quick or rewatch a quick 10-20 minute video instead of 45-minute to an hour video. They tend to do better, so I'm going to space them out a little bit, unless they pip. So tomorrow if I come in and there's 2 clutches pipped, then I'm cutting 2 eggs, or 2 clutches. So 10 eggs. The pairing on this was the Big Champagne Female Juno to our male Pastel Super Inchy Vanilla Ghost. So worst thing we can make is an Inchy Het Ghost. The best thing we can make is a Pastel Inchy Vanilla Champagne Het Ghost. I'll be honest, guys, this one, I know I try and call things in the egg just for fun and shits and giggles, even though they're probably not correct or not even a valid guess, but it's just fun to do. This one, I don't even know what to guess. I don't work a lot with champagne. Champagne's something I haven't worked with until I came here. So, we're going to find out. We're going to learn what we can do with champagne here. And so I'm actually probably going to cut these eggs outside the tub because it's kind of a taller lipped tub the words. Let me find my paper towels. Not as prepared as I usually am. All right. All right, and I will try and answer questions to you guys if you have any while I'm cutting at the same time. I could watch you all day long with snakes. That is, you know, Dennis, I'm glad you can, because Matt and Curtis have actually told me that I should go back and watch the videos I do, because that's how I learn and do better. And I probably would if I didn't absolutely hate watching myself on camera, because, you know, I'll think of something what I want to say in my head, and then what comes out is gibberish. So yeah, we'll see. These are little thick shells, so I am a little bit concerned that they aren't going to be able to pip on their own. So I'll cut this egg, and then I will show you the egg, and then, you know, back to the normal routine. Everyone can do better even then too. Yeah, but they are a heck of a lot better at it than I am. All right, so make sure I got some movement. Yep, we got some movement. Champagne is new to me. I got a bonus Enchi albino I got from Anna, and got one in the collection we took on. So I don't know anything about them. Char, I'm in the same boat. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this around so you can see. This looks, sorry, it's a little bit, this one's full of fluid, so it's kind of hard to tell. But this looks like it's probably a pastel Enchi, possibly vanilla het ghost. I accidentally nicked a vein, so a little bit of blood, hard to see what's really in there. It is moving really great. It's hard for me to one hand poke it with the baby in there to show you it's alive and hold the camera, so just take my word for it. I promise you when we do an egg cutting or an egg update, you know, as long as they, you know, all are, as I cut them, are good, and I tell you they're good, I promise you in the egg update you'll see that. But that one is moving. So on our Patreon, I'll kind of talk what we want to do with this clutch. There was a specific reason. You have improved a ton since your first solo video. I appreciate that. I'll be honest, that first video, I think it was, that was brutal. And even way back years and years ago when I worked at the pet shop, man, I was not a huge fan of these videos and stuff like that, because I mumble quite a bit. I'll open this one a little bit bigger. Alrighty. Good movement. Again, we're gonna turn this one around for you. And this one looks like another pastel Enchi. This one I'm actually probable on the vanilla, just based on all the blushing and stuff. See if I can get a good focus on that. Not really. Based on all the blushing and the lightness, I believe that's going to be a pastel Enchi het ghost. So again, everything has to have Enchi and at least het ghost. No visual ghost because the mom's not, obviously, but we're on our way to hopefully Champagne. We should at least get 5. You know, I'm kind of bummed they haven't seen any yet. Champagne's interesting, right? Champagne is a gene that I don't want to say I don't care about. It's just a gene that I didn't really like all that much. But by golly, it sells at expos like nothing. All right, that is actually, I don't know what I'm looking at. Hold on. Well, it's alive, and it is a champagne. I can tell because, you know, you're not going to be able to see it in the live, just because I can't promise you'll see it in the live. But it is champagne. So we at least have an Enchi champagne het ghost in this one. Maybe pastel and vanilla. But it turned just a little bit. Right now, all we're seeing is all belly. So all belly. So it looks like an all-white snake, but I promise you it's not. It's turned its head and back over when I first cut, and I could see the champagne in a lot of patterns. So I believe, well, it has to be champagne Enchi. So whether there's anything else in it or not, I don't know. That's actually staying up just a little bit. So let me see. Yeah, he's starting to turn his back. So you can see this is his back right here. Interesting enough, this is a very white snake, and we should not have, interesting, a white snake. Maybe Champagne, okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is also my first egg cutting for Champagne. So maybe Champagne's color up, but interesting. It's like nearly a white snake. I don't know if the camera picks that up on that. And again, you guys who are at home working with Champagne are probably like, oh, buddy, we can see the normal Champagne from here. I get that. I get that. I don't work with Champagne a whole lot. But at least there's a Champagne Enchi. It has to be Champagne Enchi. There's nothing else it could be. Maybe pastel and vanilla really whiten it up. I really don't know on that one. But I'll be interested to see it out. It can also dilute color too. Yeah. It is, you know, I've seen some, I joined a Champagne Facebook group just because I wanted to learn more about the gene. Just because, again, it's not a gene I really invested into. And I have seen some really nice with leopard and, what in the world? Leopard and Enchi and Orange Dream together really bring out a lot of pattern. So again, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up too well, but it's almost like a really, really yellow side pattern with white on the back. This thing is incredible. If I can, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's gotta be Champagne, right? Like there's nothing else that would make it a white like that. I'm just guessing that still in the egg and with the fluid still in there and stuff, it's giving off a white hue and it's really not. I'd be curious to see. So far, if you're keeping track, 2 Champagne Enchis and then 2 what I think is pastel Enchis and 1 with vanilla, 1 without. So not bad, 4 eggs so far. We got 6 more to go. But what was interesting about Champagne is, you know, it's not one I really all that cared about, but at expos, man, it sold like crack. It did. I think it was just because it's something drastically different, you know. I know in rainbow boas and rock pythons, the patternless gene is pretty popular. So I don't know if that's what people are seeing, is if it's the patternless of it, though. That just makes it drastically different than what everyone else has. All right, and this is another interesting one. Let me see if I'm gonna cut this one open just a little bit more for you guys to see if you can see what I'm seeing a little bit easier. So this is the back, not the belly. You can kind of see in a, let me see if I turn more towards the light over here, scoot more over. So, not really all that light. It actually made it a little bit harder to focus on for the phone. But again, this is not the belly. This is the back, and there's a spot you can kind of see. Let me see if I turn it this way. Right here is like almost like a yellow saddle on a, like what a pied would look like. So this will be an interesting baby when it comes out. So another Champagne. We're 3 for 5. Yeah, 3 for 5. I'll take that. You know, I'll take 2 more too to get the odds, but 3 in a row I'll take even better because, you know, we're going to keep that train going. And I'd like to get like 6 or 7 Champagnes with miscellaneous. Mostly because here's the thing, right? It's not because of a money thing, right? Champagne isn't worth billions of dollars. But the more combos and the more I hit, the better I can have an eye for, oh, this is this or that or whatever. And so for me, it's an experience thing. And so we know in this pairing, if we get a Champagne, it's got Enchi. Absolutely Enchi, because the dad is a super Enchi. So anything else that's wonky, I can play around and figure out, is that, you know, vanilla? Is it pastel? Is it pastel vanilla? All right, and another non-Champagne. This one, lucky. And, you know, I'm calling in the egg doesn't really mean anything. Did you say hypo was or was not a possibility? No hypo. We are making het hypos, though. But no possibility for a visual hypo. That I guess I know, because here's the thing. Before I show you this egg real quick. Ball pythons are eventually going to get to the point where rattlesnakes and corn snakes are. You know, we've proved out multiple hets on our rattlesnakes this year that there was a possibility it was in there, but rattlesnakes and corn snakes have been in the breeding, morphs have been breeding for so long now that they're het for a billion different things. I bred 2 corn snakes, normal corn snakes, bought as normal corn snakes, and they both proved out het albino, het anery. I got snows, I got aneries, I got albinos, and then I got normals. So, you know, I'm not saying that this has het hypo in that female, but I know several people who have bought genes and they ended up having an extra het in there and stuff. So, you know, leopard's one of them. Leopard, when it first came out, was bred to pieds. And at one point there was a thought that almost every leopard has a chance for being het pied based on how they descended and whatnot, and everyone trying to get pied into leopard and stuff. So, you know, you never know what you're going to find popping out. This one looks like another pastel Enchi, which is nice. Let me get this. Yeah, so pastel Enchi. Poke him around a little bit so you can kind of see the movement. So nice and healthy live babies. These are all looking really good. They are a day early, so they're not like fully like ready to, let me get that, there we go. Not fully pipped out and ready to go, but I would not be surprised if tomorrow or the day after some of these guys are already sticking out. Someone asked in the live stream the other day if the baby bloods were feisty, like straight out of the egg. And the answer is yes. I went to check on them yesterday, and we had an ivory. You know, we cut an ivory, and it was awesome. And I wanted to take a photo of it, so I was trying to get him out of the tub. And babies that were still in their egg were absolutely trying to bite me with not even being out of the egg yet. So this is another one where I can show you. So this one is an Enchi het ghost for sure. There might be some few other things going in there. Not 100, maybe vanilla, but not 100% positive. I'll see more as it comes out. Anyone got any cool eggs clutches coming up this year? Or are we mostly done prepping kind of for next year? I know I've already started making a list of all the females and males we have, those that are going to potentially be ready and stuff like that. And it's going to be a really nice year next year. I know I say that like, it feels like that's what it is every year. Once you get into the hobby, you're always excited like, oh yeah, this was a good year. But next year, you know, this hold back, that hold back. Oh. Let's see what we have here. So, I'm not liking the way this looks. It could be nothing, but we'll see. I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at maybe. It's another champagne, but it kind of looks like a ball, and not just a ball python, but like an actual ball. I can stick there is space in between those two bodies. It is wrapped up in a ball, but it just kind of looks not good in there. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one. I didn't see anything wrapped up or wrapped around it or anything. It looked good, other than it just looks off, and I don't know really what that is. Hey, smart serpents, or Smay, is it Smay? Sorry, I saw that way too fast. Smay serpents. I'm only growing up and still a bit away from babies. That's okay. You know what, though? That's like the most rewarding part. I know people who have bought adults, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've bought adults and bred them. But we have a couple females this year that I raised up from babies that went this year. And I can tell you that cutting those eggs was more like, it meant more. You know, I was so excited about the other stuff, but You know, those babies meant more because that's all my hard work kind of coming to a fruition, I guess you'd say. Man, we are like, it seems like my first time for me and my girl should be laying next month. She's in her pre-lay shed, and she black pastel het TSK xanthic to leopard TSK xanthic pre-lay shed, and she black pastel leopard yellow belly het TSK xanthic. Is that all one snake? Because that's incredible. That is an incredibly huge gene, because black pastel and enchi are allelic. So the worst you can make is a black pastel or enchi, possible het TK xanthic, depending on what the male was. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, but you know, when I'm filming by myself, it's really hard for me to go live on my phone and copy the link into it, which is what I usually do for Matt. I've had 10 females for sure this year, 2 of which are my own babies. That's awesome. Leopard. Oh, gotcha. That's going to be an awesome pairing. Nothing this year. We'll be making my first pairings next month. Oh, fingers crossed for you, Cactus. That's always really exciting too. You know, I always remember my first year, and you know, we cut a lot of things here, but you know, I remember not yesterday, but the other day we were pulling babies, and we were like, oh, it's, you know, just a killer bee. I remember back when we would have cried to hit one of that. So yeah, it's crazy to think back on the first year. Shad, that's really great growth there too. Still raising my breeders this season. I'm locking my black pastel pewter lesser to Mojave Ghost. Yeah, because any bells will be a bell that's 100% het ghost plus some stuff. So that's really awesome for some holdbacks. So what was pairing? Pairing was pastel super enchi vanilla ghost to champagne. So far we've got 1, 2, 3 champagnes, 1, 2, 3, 4 enchi ghosts possible. And here's a 5th one that I just cut. I'll show you right now. This one looks good too. And so, yep, another pastel enchi possible vanilla. And what I'm talking about of the things looking weird is it's not something I have seen, but it's like this water soluble type look. Like there's just a gel in there, which is interesting. There's typically like fluid and stuff in there, but not gel like that. So the only time I've ever seen that was in the Suma to Banana Blitz Calico Black Pastel clutch, and those didn't make it. So I'll be curious to see how this goes. These all look great. Way better than that clutch did, but it's weird to see the gel. It's not something I usually see. I need to get some ghosts. Well, join our Patreon, because we are going to have a ton of hets to make mimosas. We're going to have a ton of hets and visuals. It's going to be the year of the ghost this year, I believe. We've had some pretty good ghost clutches, but also some not so good clutches. Like the second clutch ever this year was all slugs, 7 slugs. All right, and last egg, let's take a look. And it is another champagne. I'm gonna open this one up a little bit more so you can kind of see a little better. Yep, another champagne. Let me flip that over. So champagne, enchi, het ghost, plus possibility of pastel and vanilla. I'm not even going to try and guess what has it and what doesn't, because, to be honest, I don't know champagne that well. And in the egg, something like vanilla is going to be near impossible to tell. So for those keeping track or wanted to know, we had 10 eggs. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 5 and 5. So there's 5 champagne enchis plus the possibility of pastel and vanilla. And then 5, honestly, these enchis without champagne look like they have pastel, so we'll see. But 5 enchis, possibility of pastel and vanilla that are all het ghost as well. So all in all, not bad. 9 eggs look really good. 1 is suspect, but to be honest, it could just be the way he's laying. I'll keep an eye on that as the week goes on with, and I'll keep Matt updated while he's in Colorado. In 2 weeks, I've got a clutch due, hoping for super blackhead het hypos. That is awesome. We're maybe going to be doing some super blackheads this year. We just picked up a blackhead male. That would be really nice. Everything in my collection is ghost or het ghost. Honestly, I think ghost is heavily underrated. I think there's so much you can do with it. It's not really well worked with. It's not worked with a lot in like double recessives and things like that. So good on you. I appreciate you guys. If she makes weight, I'm going to throw my black pastel VPI male to our Firebee het VPI. Make some visual VPI black widows, hopefully. That'd be a pretty good clutch. You know, I really wanted to work black pastel into Xanthic. I actually bought a black pastel Xanthic male who turned out to be pastel. And I know you're going to be like, well, how does that happen? It's because we ended up getting I got a dark phase line Xanthic, and the seller thought it was a black pastel. And it was not. It proved out pastel through breeding. Blackhead hypo is awesome. I bet it is. I bet if you throw in a yellow belly or something like that to add some contrast. I've seen a blackhead yellow belly desert ghost, and the yellow and black contrast is just incredible. So I bet if you had like a yellow belly in that, that'd be amazing. Mojave ghost, Inchy spider, het ghost, het desert ghost. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people starting to work the ghost desert ghost together. It kind of gives it a frosty look. That's really awesome. Thanks, Luna. I just got a banana Mojave yellow belly ghost I'm looking forward to working with. You know, banana is a gene I've kind of thought about adding into hypo. I think it would look really well. So that's really awesome. Black Nightmares, I'm going to be honest, Chad, I'm not sure what Black Nightmare is, but, you know, it's got to be cool with that kind of a name. Blackhead Hypo Tri-Stripe. See, Tri-Stripe, that's another gene I would love to start working. I've seen some really cool combos and some ideas that I have to take that. Black Pastel Orange Dream Hypo. You know, Chad, I actually saw it was a Super Orange Dream Enchi Black Pastel Hypo the other day. And I'm going to be honest, that thing was, I would have sold my house for that. That was incredible. So yeah, Black Nightmares. That's even a cool name. So that's awesome. So does anyone have any questions or anything? You know, I don't do lives very often by myself because I'm not a huge social media guy, although I am taking over the Instagram. So if you haven't yet, check it out. That's where I start posting pictures, maybe some shorts. You know, we'll see. Maybe we'll talk Matt into doing a live on there. That'd be fun. But otherwise, I'll slide over to Patreon and kind of talk about what we want to do with this clutch, some other things, and go from there. Oh, wait a second. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I will let that catch up. Otherwise, I think that's it. So we will see you all next time, and we're going to jump on over to Patreon. If you are on Patreon, give me a second to figure out how I'm posting the live in there and all that stuff, okay? Now check out for the post, because since I am doing the live on my phone, I won't be able to post the link in the Discord, okay? All right, guys.